Okay, so you're thinking about video marketing? Good for you. That's a smart move these days.
To remove, indeed.
And you're checking out CineSalon, maybe thinking of working with them.
Makes sense. They've been making a splash.
Yeah, and you came to the right place because we're going to do a deep dive into them today.
Love a good deep dive, gotta say.
You sent over a really interesting mix of their own materials, client reviews, the works.
The good stuff. I'm impressed by your research skills. I gotta say, this is like the ultimate CineSalon starter pack.
Oh, look, that's right.
No, for real, this gives us that 360 view we love,
Yeah.
so we can get the full picture.
Exactly. And from the looks of it, CineSalon wants to change how we think about video production.
Yeah, that's not just talking the talk. From what I see, they're out to disrupt things.
Totally. And they're doing it with this whole right-sizing thing they keep mentioning. Smaller teams, laser focus on getting results, and pumping out tons of high-impact content.
That's music to any marketer's ears in a world where everyone's trying to stretch every dollar.
Preach. It's like they're reading my mind. I mean, for so long, video production felt like this huge, expensive thing.
Oh, tell me about it. Like, only the big dogs could really play that game.
Right. But CineSalon's like, nah, you don't need a Hollywood studio to make content that converts.
Which is huge E, especially for businesses that are tired of one video eating up their whole budget.
Been there.
Yeah.
Okay, but on that note, how about we dive into what they mean by right-sizing specifically? Because I'm seeing that term everywhere on their website.
Let's break it down.
Okay.
And they really break it down. It's not just some buzzword.
Right. Like, okay, smaller teams, I get it. But how does that actually work?
Well, they've got this whole philosophy about it. Let me see if I can explain it. Basically, they're all about assembling these lean, mean, super talented teams that are custom built for each project.
Okay, so no more bloated crews just because.
Yeah.
That's refreshing.
Exactly. They're all about efficiency and making sure every single person on that team is bringing something crucial to the table.
So you're telling me they're not going to charge me an arm and a leg for someone to, like, stand around and hold a microphone?
Sounds like they're trying to avoid that at all costs. And this whole approach, it ties into their laser focus on getting results too, which is smart.
Because what good is a fancy video if it doesn't actually, do anything for your business?
Exactly. They're not just filmmakers. They're thinking like marketers.
Okay, so they say they're results-driven. But how do we know that's not just marketing speak?
Well, that's where these client reviews come in handy. Remember those?
Oh, yeah, those were impressive. Like, genuinely stoked clients, not just, yeah, they were fine.
For real. And that's what caught my eye too, the consistency of praise across the board.
Yeah, like Fujiabra Films, they were gushing about CineSalon's team. Working with them was like family. And they raved about their dedication. That kind of personal touch, it really can make or break a project.
100%, especially in a field like this. When you've got that trust and open communication, it just changes the whole game.
Totally. And it's not just about being buddies. It's about understanding what the client wants and actually making it happen, which it seems like CineSalon gets.
Yeah, they seem to really prioritize that collaborative vibe. Like, remember Tessa Applegate? She also mentioned how dedicated they were and how comfortable they made her feel throughout the whole process.
It's so key, that feeling of being heard and understood, especially when you're handing over creative control like that.
Oh, for sure. And you know what else is super impressive? Their global reach.
Oh, right. They're not just, like, a local shop?
Nope. They work with clients all over. Johanna B., who's based in Paris, remember her review?
Yeah, she was the one who said they were easy and professional to work with, even with the time difference and everything.
Exactly. Which, let me tell you, is no small feat. Managing international collaborations can be a logistical nightmare.
Oh, tell me about it. Time zones, language barriers, different ways of working.
Yeah.
It can be a lot.
Right. But CineSalon seems to handle it all in stride, which speaks volumes about their professionalism and adaptability.
Yeah, they're firing on all cylinders, that's for sure. And it's not just about, like, checking boxes and getting the job done either. They're actually exceeding expectations, which is what you want to hear.
Absolutely. Remember Nandini Jamie's review? She was working on a major campaign and said CineSalon took her vision and absolutely brought it to life, even exceeding her expectations.
That's the dream, right? To find a creative partner who not only nails the brief, but actually brings something extra to the table.
Seriously. It suggests they're not just going through the motions, they're actively listening, brainstorming, and pushing those creative boundaries to deliver something truly exceptional.
Yeah, they're not afraid to go above and beyond. And they do it all without sacrificing efficiency, which is like the holy grail of video production, am I right?
You are so right. Time is money after all, right?
Yeah.
And CineSalon seems to get that.
For real, Multiple reviewers mentioned their ability to deliver in a timely manner, which, let's be real, can be a rarity in this industry.
It's true. Things can get bogged down so easily, but it sounds like CineSalon has streamlined their process without compromising quality.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Right sizing, data-driven results, glowing reviews, global reach, efficiency. The list goes on.
They're like the overachievers of the video production world, I gotta say.
Right. So taking all this into account, what do you think this all means for businesses considering CineSalon? Like, what's the big takeaway here?
It's like they've cracked the code, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Balancing creativity and client relationships and somehow making data exciting.
It's true. It's like they're not just a production company. They're like growth partners or something.
That's exactly it. They're not just there to make a pretty video and peace out. They actually want to see your business succeed, which is kind of rare, honestly.
Super rare. And that's where this data obsession comes in, right? Like they're not afraid of the numbers. They embrace
Well,
them.
they're data whisperers or something. But in all seriousness, they use it to their advantage and to make sure every video is actually performing, not just looking nice.
Okay, so data-driven. I feel like we hear that a lot these days. What does it actually mean in the context of video? Like, what are they tracking?
Well, think of it this way. They're looking at every stage of the game. From the moment someone lays eyes on your video, they want to know, are people watching, clicking, sharing? And most importantly, are those views actually turning into leads and sales?
So it's not just about vanity metrics like how many likes or whatever. It's the real deal.
Exactly. And by tracking all of that, CineSalon can figure out what's working, what's not, and tweak their approach along the way.
That makes so much sense. So they're not afraid to adjust and adapt based on the data. It's like they're constantly refining their game.
Exactly. And that's how they stay ahead of the curve. It's like having a team of scientists analyzing your videos in real time to make sure they're hitting the mark.
It's like taking the guesswork out of it, which, let's be real, is a huge relief when it comes to marketing dollars.
Oh, for sure. Nobody wants to throw money at something that's not working. And it sounds like CineSalon gets that. They're all about transparency and making sure their clients see that return on investment.
It's like they're invested in your success, not just their own paycheck, which is a good feeling.
It really is. And it shows in the way they approach those client relationships. Remember all those glowing reviews?
Oh yeah, the like family comments, the they really listened remarks.
Right. And don't forget about those specific names that kept popping up. Shane and Tice. It just goes to show that it's not just a faceless corporation. There are real, passionate people behind the scenes who genuinely care about the work.
And that makes a world of difference. Knowing that you're not just a number, but that you've got a dedicated team in your corner who's rooting for you every step of the way.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So I guess the takeaway here is that finding the right video production company isn't just about flashy reels or fancy equipment.
It's about so much more than that.
It's about finding a tree partner, one that understands your vision, values your input, and is as invested in your success as you are.
Preach. Someone who's going to be there for the long haul, not just for a single project.
Exactly. And who's going to be honest with you about what works and what doesn't, even if it means having some tough conversations.
Because at the end of the day, it's about achieving your goals, not just ticking off a box.
Couldn't have said it better myself.